In mid-December, a COMAC ARJ-21 took off from Shanghai Pudong Airport for a routine test flight. However, that test flight was unique for the first locally built regional jet from China. Unlike previous ARJ-21 test flights, this aircraft carried a non-Chinese-based airline's livery, rather carrying the livery of the Indonesian-based airline TransNusa. With this, Indonesian-based TransNusa is set to become the first non-Chinese airline to operate the ARJ-21 as part of a major shift of its operations to become a premier airline in Indonesia. The test flight of TransNusa's first ARJ-21-700 was reported on the Chinese site yikai.com, to be used for the source of the English report from the Global Times. From what has been reported, the test flight occurred on December 20 from Shanghai's Pudong Airport. The aircraft, which is the subject of this video, took off with the registration B099Y, and you can find a picture of this aircraft with the TransNusa livery on planespotters.net. TransNusa is set to become the first non-Chinese airline to operate the Chinese-built jet, though you may be wondering how this airline acquired the aircraft. To answer this question, there is some connection to China, as this aircraft is part of an order for 60 of the jets from China Aircraft Leasing Holdings. This order includes 30 firm and 30 options, and this was placed originally in January 2021, with deliveries expected to go through 2026. It has been reported that some or all of these aircraft will be leased to TransNusa from China Aircraft Leasing Holdings, which happens to also have a 35.68% in the Indonesian-based airline, which it bought in March of 2020. The aircraft will be part of a change for TransNusa, which itself is undergoing its own transformation to become a premier airline in Indonesia, specifically as it's shifting its business model to become a low-cost airline. For a bit of background, TransNusa operated its first flight in 2005, and for the most part, it has been focusing on Western Indonesia, specifically with charter services. Later in 2011, it started regularly scheduled flights, and up to a point, it operated 26 routes with 8 ATR turboprop aircraft. However, in 2020, turbulence would hit the airline as due to the COVID-19 pandemic, it was reported in Indonesian press that operations were suspended in September. Since then, TransNusa has been looking to shift its business model to become a budget airline, with a goal to start operations in 2022. The airline is looking to take into account the changes in business and leisure travel demand, with TransNusa's managing director, Bayu Sutanto, saying, quote, "More and more people in the workforce have been having their meetings online through digital platforms due to the pandemic, resulting in reduction in the number of work trips. This decline in business passengers increases the ratio of leisure passengers, giving them more significance." Sutanto further added, quote, "Leisure passengers are more price sensitive to airfares than business passengers as they have to fork out money themselves instead of the company." With this, the airline has already set up its website. It is seeing a major shift from its previous operations to focus on cities such as Jakarta, Surabaya, Bali, and Yogyakarta. Though there is no exact number of how many ARJ-21s TransNusa will operate, the Chinese-built regional jets will become a part of the TransNusa fleet, along with the Airbus A320 family aircraft. So far, TransNusa has received an Airbus A320neo through lease and expects another 2 more A320ceos by the end of 2022. Interestingly, the airline is leaving out its ATR aircraft, which it historically used, due to the improvements at airports which allow for jet operations. Regarding this, Sutanto said, quote, "The airline has since decided to move on from turboprops as more and more airports have been undergoing upgrading works such as the extending the runway, allowing for jet aircraft to come into the market." TransNusa's shift to become the next Indonesian-based budget airline will add to the highly competitive aviation scene in Indonesia, with the Lion Air Group and AirAsia Indonesia operating in the country. As for the ARJ-21, it is a positive sign for China's aviation manufacturing ventures, and Indonesia through TransNusa could be a proving ground for the operations of the aircraft outside of China. However, there still likely will be regulatory approvals needed and certificates pending, as the aircraft needs to be certified for operations in Indonesia first. Because the ARJ-21 is not likely to be certified in other countries, especially the neighboring countries, anytime soon, TransNusa will likely be limited to operating the ARJ-21s in domestic flights. thus saving the A320s for international flights. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. This has been Flights in Asia, highlighting the news and updates from the aviation and travel scene in the Asia Pacific. Thank you for watching and have a great day.